The Ukrainian oligarchs are a group of business oligarchs that emerged on the economic and political scene of Ukraine after the 1991 Ukrainian independence referendum. This period saw Ukraine transitioning to a market economy with the rapid privatization of state-owned assets. Those developments mirrored those of the neighboring post-Soviet states after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. The influence of Ukrainian oligarchs on domestic and regional politics, particularly their links to Russia, have been the source of criticism from pro-Western sources critical of Ukraine's lack of political reform or action against corruption. In 2008, the combined wealth of Ukraine's 50 richest oligarchs was equal to 85% of Ukraine's GDP. In November 2013, this number was 45%. Oligarchs are usually defined as businessmen having direct influence on both politics and economy. During the 1990s, the oligarchs emerged as politically connected entrepreneurs who started from nearly nothing and got rich through participation in the market via connections to the corrupt but democratically elected government of Ukraine during the state's transition to a market-based economy. Later, numerous Ukrainian business people have taken over control of political parties or started new ones to gain seats and influence in the Verkhovna Rada. The rise of the oligarchs has been connected to the processes of privatization of state-owned assets. These processes usually involved the distribution of property titles of such enterprises, land, and real estate, on equal base to the whole population of the country, through instruments such as privatization vouchers, certificates, and coupons. Given the different preferences of people in relation to risk aversity, property titles were easily resold. Businessmen who could provide an initial investment capital to collect such property titles could thus easily arrive to the property of whole former public holdings. The oligarchs' influence on the Ukrainian government is extreme. In 2011, some analysts and Ukrainian politicians believed that some Ukrainian businesses tycoons with lucrative relations with Russia were deliberately hindering Ukraine's European Union integration. In an annualized report published by Novoye Vremya in 2019, the top 100 wealthiest business people in Ukraine were identified. According to the report, the total wealth of the top 100 accounted for 23% of Ukrainian GDP. The report identified that the 100 wealthiest Ukrainians control around $34.8 billion, down $2.7 billion from 2018. Of which $30.6 billion lies with the 50 richest. The top 10 Ukrainian oligarchs were identified as. An economic study by Demid Chernenko identified 35 oligarchic groups based on data points between 2002 to 2016.